Hello Gemini, great to see you just in time for your Gemini April 2020 reading. Look, I've just been doing about an hour's worth of meditation and prayer for my Gemini subscribers, so you'll feel great energy and healing vibrations and energy coming through you for this month of April. I guarantee it. Thank you also. I've done readings for a couple of you Geminis in the last month since the last videos were updated, and thank you also for recommending me to your friends. I appreciate the vote of confidence because they've contacted me as well. It's been my pleasure to see you. Of course, I do readings for people from all over the world, and in the last month I've done it for people over Skype and FaceTime from the United States and Canada, Great Britain, Ireland, the Philippines, India, Australia, New Zealand, Germany, South Africa, among other places. But let's see what there is in store for you. So if you'd like a personal reading, just check out the description box below and that will give you the details. I've got my website there and contact details. So let's see what there is in store for you. I've just got a bit of the vibe still going, so you'll bear with me. It'll be worth it, I can assure you. Let's have a look here first. The Ace of Cups. The Four of Wands. There's the King of Wands. What else is there in store for you? Let's have a look to see what's coming through here. The Three of Wands. The Three and the Four of Wands. What's this? The Nine of Swords. Now I'm going to take 3 playing cards. A lot of you said that you enjoyed looking at the playing cards at the end of last month's readings and the meanings that I was giving to them. So I'm going to do 3 for you now. And they are the Jack of Hearts, the Four of Diamonds, and finally the Seven of Clubs. Okay, why don't you come down, sit down next to me. Let's do some one-on-one time, eh? And we'll have a look at these cards together and see what they mean for you. The highly talented and attractive Gemini. Let's have a look at this card here. It looks rather interesting, doesn't it? The Ace of Cups. Let's have a look at it. Well, it could be an archangel, probably Archangel Michael. No, is that? Yes, that is what I think it is. And so it's like a hermaphrodite, I suppose. The Ace of Cups. Well, the Ace of Cups here is the angel, and I'm really getting around it, the constellations of Scorpio, Sagittarius, Libra, so they are going to be important to you at this time. The time of the fall equinox in the northern hemisphere, or the spring equinox in the southern hemisphere. The element of water, lunar, with the pure wings of the dove. It is yin, the feminine aspect as opposed to yang. Yin, internal and soft. As a river, it flows around the rocks where fire might blast through them. The Ace of Cups is like the moon. It is internal looking and cyclic. The emotions often associated with the suit of cups have a very real and important reason to exist. They are the messengers of the subconscious, just like the angels are the messengers of God. Angelos in Greek is messenger, so that's where we get the name angel from. Now, emotions are only what lie on the surface, though. Beneath are waters that are very deep, the reservoir of all human knowledge that we have inherited from our ancestors and their ancestors back to the very oldest of all living things on earth in an unbroken chain. It is very ancient and wise, and speaks to us through emotions, dreams, visions, gut feelings, intuition, psychic phenomenon. I don't know where the bottom of this water is. Perhaps it has no bottom and connects us all in a collective unconscious. You are the steward of a very ancient bloodline. Now, with free will comes free will of love. When you transcend the biological demands of the subconscious and truly begin to decide how you want to love, openly and without a judgment or caution, without expectation of return, with purpose, compassionately, this is the kind of powerful flowing force that is yin and can gently move mountains and shape the earth itself. Well, what we are seeing here is, I think, relationships, the pursuit of happiness. Yeah, really getting that for you. Love, fulfillment, pleasure. Love in its purest sense and an emotional abundance. Now, there may well be a new relationship that starts. It doesn't even have to be romantic, of course. It could be a friendship. It could be a business relationship. Relationship, of course, is all we have on earth. If you understand that relationship is the truth, that is all we know on earth and all we need to know. You may well hear of a birth or of a pregnancy. I think there's going to be some sensual passion involved for you. Emotional balance is available to be used, and I think drawn upon by you for probably the next 12 months. It's a particularly beautiful card when it comes to that of the emotions. Now let's have a look to see what else there might be here. Where shall we go next? Let's have a look at this startling card, which is beneath it. Is rather beautiful, isn't it? Let's have a look at you. Oh, and what a fantastic card this is for you. I'm so glad that it's come in underneath that Ace of Cups. This is the Lord of Established Strength. It is for me the sun in the second decan of Aquarius, of Aries, yes, the second decan of Aries, I'd say. That period of the 31st of March till April the 9th. Now, this is about your ideas crystallizing, confirmation that you really are on the right path. Sometimes it can mean business expansion, and sometimes it can even mean that you have a hobby that you may turn into a business. You know, the sun in Aries, well, the sun in astrological terms, in ordinary astrology at least, the sun is also in exaltation in Aries, so it's even stronger. There's even more benefic effects to have. So this placement in this card is very favorable. Now, Aries enjoys a challenge, and Aries suns are happiest when their lives are moving forward and active. And I think that this is what is going to be going on for you during this period. You know, I think what you have now is you've had an idea in mind prior to this period, I think, but now what's really happening is that you're really getting to come to grips with the direction that you need to apply yourself to in order to be your best and to be of service to yourself and to those around you and to the world at large. Now, I think that we need at this time, because I think what this is saying is that you need to look inside and outside with integrity, honesty, and no compromise. So it might also, I'm just getting the feeling here, it might also be necessary for you to check the honesty and integrity of somebody else, and that somebody else that I'm getting is an Aries. So just check the integrity and honesty of an Aries person that's around you at the moment. This is definitely saying that it is important for you to operate from a place of integrity before making any decisions at the moment, and to have clarity of mind and of heart before taking any action if you want to bring about the best result. Now, unless you have clarity, don't act. But if you do have clarity, then now definitely is the time to move things forward. Yeah, it's really, see, I'm also looking at the numerology of this number 3, which is, to me, evoking gestation, almost like a woman gestates a child within her. And you are developing something towards an end, towards a goal, and it is growing. Extension, development, increase. Let's have a look at this King of Wands. Hello, King. How are you going there? Now this, see this symbol on his head? This is to ward off. This is an ancient Babylonian symbol, which was to ward off evil and negative thoughts from other people. Now, what can I say? What images are coming up? What feelings are coming through? Well, to redeem yourself, that is to grasp the Holy Grail, you must be able to get it not by grace, but by strength and goodness of your own free will. The king has lived a full life, and he has the experience and the vision to know to ask, whom does the Grail serve? The king has control and mastery over his elements. They are his kingdom, the land, the foundation, the strength. The King of Wands has control over his own energy, passion, creativity. He has control over his spirituality as well. He knows what he wants, he knows what to do, and his illumination leads others. Now, the god depicted here, if I'm not mistaken, in the image is Shamash, also known as Utu, the Sumerian sun god. We're in the suit of wands, remember, whose main attribute was righteousness and justice, as he illuminated what was previously dark wrongs or the misdeeds of people. Again, you know how I had, in this card here, I had Scorpio and Sagittarius and Libra being around here. I'm very much getting the energy of Sagittarius here, also of Scorpio. Now, what are the moral qualities of this person? Well, active, generous, maybe quite impetuous, I think, during this month. Dare I say it, rather proud. But this king, and maybe you as a result, will be very swift. See, the king esoterically is fire, and he's in the suit of fire. So we have this firestorm, we have this tremendous surge of energy, but the course of the fire is, of course, unpredictable. Where's it going to lead to? What control do you have over it? And they're the types of things that you need to be bearing in mind. Yes, you'll have energy to do things, but how are you best ensuring that you're moving forward with it? Now, the other thing that I'm getting is this is for, well, this guy, the Lord of Flame and Lightning, he says to me that there may for you be some startling, maybe even revolutionary type of events which are going around you during this period. But don't be concerned. You should be cool, collected, resolute, and energetic, but be careful of the actions you take. Nothing that hasn't been well thought out. Now remember, this is fire, and fire which can be predictable and reactive. So make sure you think things through. Think things through. Don't just be taken off with emotion, with the fire of desire. And go forward with an alert confidence in your ability. See, this guy here, I think, he's ill-fitted to carry on his actions. He doesn't really have any means of modifying things according to circumstances because of all that fire that's in him. It's unpredictable, so he can launch on a course, and it can therefore be irretrievable. So just make sure that You always have a plan B in mind for things. Now, what I'm getting here around is saying that you should really be finding your vitality, trusting your gut instinct. Let your head down, give yourself a pep talk, and believe that you can do it. Very much so. There may well be some journeys or traveling coming around here. Could be changes of job or changes within the jobs. For some people, I can see a promotion coming through here. Certainly creative ideas being brought into action. And what I definitely have here, and is being told, is that you are to have the courage of your convictions at this time more than any other. Ask yourself this: does your present situation allow your energies to develop and unfold fully? And if not, what must be removed or changed? Seek out situations and opportunities that challenge you. Engage with all of your energy, and remember, every challenge which arises helps you grow. Every storm strengthens your roots. And speaking of roots, it just so happens to be that here is a tree. So that would have roots, wouldn't it? And this is going to be strengthened, and this is talking about great strength for you. Look, this is coming, you've got the Three of Wands and then the Four of Wands. Now, what's the astrology of this for me? Well, it is Venus ruling the third decan of Aries this time. That was the second. This is the third decan of Aries, the 10th of April to about the 19th of April, I suppose it would be. Now, this tree is growing up into the air, so I've got Venus in the card. Now, what I'm thinking is, Venus, you might recall, actually is the planet of two signs. It is of Taurus, and it governs Libra. Because we have this tree growing up into the air, I'm going to apply Venus to Libra. And in order, therefore, for Venus to come into Aries, as I have in this card, to go from Libra across the zodiac wheel, it has to go to the diametrically opposed side of the zodiac wheel to get into Aries. Now, to do that, of course, it means that Venus is going to be in detriment in Aries. The other thing about Aries is this, is that Aries is ruled by Mars. Mars is on one view, ragged, boastful, impetuous, relentless, remorseless, fiery, masculine, male. Venus is about, among other things, beauty, charm, grace, poise, the finer things in life. We ask ourselves, what happens when Venus and Mars get together? Well, ordinarily we'd say it's a big problem. But I don't think there is a problem in this case. In fact, I think that what's happening is that Venus is exerting her feminine charms on the unwary Mars, and she subdues the beast, she tames the male, and she holds, as a result, the upper hand. And you ladies would know that, I'm sure. Now, what this means then is we have Venus and Mars together, and they're ordinarily they'd be repelled, but they're now attracted to each other. I think what's going to happen then is you will find that you are attracted to things that you ordinarily are not attracted to, or haven't been attracted to. Now, this could be a person, it could be an interest, it could be a hobby, it could be an area of work. But you'll look at it and you'll say, do you know what? I haven't looked at this properly before. I've never noticed the finer qualities of this or of this person. Or he or she is remarkably beautiful on second glance, and I have been foolish to let this pass by to this time, and I'll do something about it. Or you may find that there is an interest that you want to pursue, an area of work. You might find yourself doing something that you never in a million years thought that you would ever do. And I think that's the case. Now, I think what you might also find is this, is that you'll have, what we have here is you might have an emotional desire, which is the Venus aspect of it, to move off in a new direction, which is the Aries aspect of it. Or you might find that one part of you wants to do something, whereas another part of you is more reserved and kind of holds you back. You know what the outcome of that will be. That's what I see happening for you with that card and that astrology. Now this takes us to the Nine of Swords. Let's have a look at this. This is an energy that's on the way out. Let's have a look here. Well, in this situation, Mars rears his head again, and in this time, it is Mars ruling the second decan of your sign, Gemini. So I'm getting that 1st to the 11th of June time frame. Now, the one-pointed nature of Mars does not sit well with the very broad-minded approach that Gemini can take. Gemini takes into account, as you well know, a number of different things. You have different ways of looking at things, and you can see a lot of points of view, bring them together and usually sort out a result, get a resolution of things, get a compromise, pull something together. Mars doesn't do that. Mars just comes in with a sword and dispatches the wounded. Well, and in fact, Mars in Gemini natives really do get fired. Those who've got Mars in Gemini in their birth chart really do get fired up and use words as their weapon. Gemini is the master of words, and words can be used to provide great cruelty, to dispatch great cruelty to other people and also to yourself. I also have in here, from a numerological point of view here, the number 9. Mystically, I have the moon associated with 9. 9 is about subconscious. 9 is about, or the moon is about subconscious. It's about what lies beneath. Now, there can be feelings of guilt and regret from which we turn the energies of this card in upon ourselves. Now, the thing is, you know your Achilles heel better than anybody else, and you have no defense against yourself. No defense upon yourself. Words can hurt, and you can use words a lot to damage yourself. Very often about things that you've done in the past, said, opportunities that have passed, things that should have been said that weren't, things that were said that shouldn't have been. You know what I'm talking about. Sometimes it's about what you might consider has been the way you may have let someone down in the past. Now, this is an energy that's on its way out, but I want you to consider this, because it's very important for you to know. And that is, despite what you may believe, you can disappoint people and still be good enough. You can make mistakes and still be capable and talented. You can let people down and still be worthwhile and deserving of love. Everybody has disappointed someone they care about. Everyone messes up, lets people down, makes mistakes, not because we're inadequate or fundamentally inept, but because we are imperfect and fundamentally human. Expecting anything different is setting yourself up for failure. Nobody is perfect, but you come close to perfection every time. I'll also say this, and it's important that you should remember that there is nothing you cannot be, there is nothing you cannot do, there is nothing you cannot have. You are the most magnificent, the most remarkable, the most splendid being God has ever created, for who could reject such wondrous magnificence? But you do not know who you are, and you think you are a great deal less. You are your own rule maker, and you are the only one who can assess how you are doing. All you see in the world is your idea about it. Life will take off for you when you choose for it to. An idea becomes a thought becomes a word. Say it out loud, words have power and echo into eternity. A word becomes an action. And if you're going to do something, go all the way. Do it. Seize the moment, rejoice in it, and let no power on earth take it from you. Let's have a look at these playing cards. Now, what have we got here first? The Jack of Hearts. Well, hello, Jack of Hearts. What I've seen with the Jack of Hearts in the past is it's usually a younger male, but it could be a female, a friend, a family member, or a love interest. Because Jacks are so low down in the hierarchy, what we're talking about here is it could be a young person, or it can relate to something that is fresh or new. It could relate to an invitation or to a message about something that you're going to get, which is good and is going to make you feel good, or receiving a gift. Now, they can represent you, someone you love, or someone that you're going to meet. They can be the start of a new relationship. They can also represent a young admirer. So who knows? You might become a cougar. We'll see. There's the Jack of Hearts. This is good. The Four of Diamonds. All about foundation and stability. The Inheritor, the card of patience. It represents financial responsibility that's based on your values. Now, if a good strategy is in place, I see prosperity and the foundation for building up assets. An inheritance may be forthcoming when this has appeared in readings that I've done for people. It does say, though, to avoid spending on luxury just at the moment. Now, in love, it may represent that someone is in love with you, but it generally does mean a financial upswing. Now, this is something of a caution card here. It can, I think, when I've done readings for people and spreads, I'm thinking back, I can't remember the people, I could just see their auras. I've seen it relating to repercussions from decisions, consequences to be paid or received, sometimes relating to solitude, introspection, soul-searching, turning things over in your mind. Well, that Nine of Swords here was talking about that, so we want to be done with that. Interesting, this is the last as well, so this is on its way out. It can represent a confinement. There could well be arguments or oppositions to plans that could occur. Do you know, sometimes I have seen it in readings, depending on other cards around it, where it represents romantic interference from somebody else, or where people maybe feel trapped in a relationship. But I will say to you at this point, though, to be careful of trouble from the opposite sex. Now, I have also seen when this turns up that gamblings and addiction can be or can become an issue, and also that a state of confusion may exist, or persons at a crossroads. That's the way it is for you this month. Well, there you go, another month done, and I trust you enjoyed receiving that reading as much as I did providing it to you. I've got to say this, that you were absolutely outstanding throughout the entire course of the reading, and it was a great pleasure to provide it to you. But I want you to remember one thing, and it is this, that you are a legend, and I look forward to seeing you again next month. Until then, bye for now.